What to do? What to do? What is up with you? I bet you guys thought I was dead. Well, I speak to a lot of you frequently, so you knew I wasn't. So let's do a book haul. Yeah, maybe I should center myself in front of the camera. Anyway, there's a lot of books to get through. I hope I got everything. Oh shit! I just saw that there was another stack. Um, let's just get on with it. So, you guys know I like my cozy murder mysteries. If you don't know, now you do. This is Death in the Hospital by Caroline Dunford. This is part of her Martin Murder Mystery series. The entire series is basically around the Martin family, particularly the head matron. I'm gonna call her Mia because I can't say her full name, right? It's a name. I'm gonna put it here, okay? It's here. But I'm gonna call her Mia because her name is like kind of. I'm not gonna make a fool of myself trying to pronounce that. Anyway, her husband in this book is hired by a spy master during the First World War. War is declared. It's 1914, and she believes that something fishy is going on with the spy master. So she's going to go undercover and investigate the spy master, especially when one of his men might be like a traitor during war times. I'm looking forward to this. I do like myself a nice historical English, or is it French? No, I want to say it's English. English murder mystery. So I'm going to read this eventually. So I was super obsessed with House of Leaves last year. I got the book from my local library and read most of it, and then I went out and bought the actual book, and I read it for most of last year. Did I finish it? Anyway, my husband got me The Whale Told Letters for Christmas by Mark Danielewski. This is a collection of letters that were written between Johnny Trout, one of the main characters from House of Leaves, to his mother, who was being institutionalized. And a lot happens in this. I have read the letters before. They are at the back of House of Leaves. There's a lot of flipping around, and you do flip to those letters. But having my own personal copy from my partner, love it, love it. So I've got this and House of Leaves on my shelf now. Yay. Also, he did a really cute poem. He gave it to me in an envelope, a big brown envelope, with a little poem on the back, and it was very sweet, and I loved it. And it rhymed. It was so cute. It was so cute. Yeah, so I picked up Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. It was free, so I picked it up. Um, I am gonna check this out and see how I like it. I'm not the hugest fan of Akatar, specifically the second book, but I did like Akawar. And I did enjoy her Crescent City series. Am I gonna continue that? I'm stalling with buying the third book. I do own the second book, but I'm gonna try Throne of Glass because many people have said to me, "Oh, you should have start with Throne of Glass." So I am gonna try that. Am I gonna like it? I only got the first book. It was free, so there's literally no stakes in me reading this. Uh, I don't even know if you can see the. It's fine. So I love old 1970s, 1980s pulp horror. It's 1990s now. 1990s is old. This book was written in 1992. This is The She by Joe Donnelly. This is all about a little village off the west coast of Ireland that's being haunted by something that's sleeping in the nearby. the nearby hills. The back says, "It comes for the children first. Village tragedies, casual eruptions of horror. But at the heart of the nearby hill, something turns in its sleep, breathes, awakens. The she will put her fingers in your dreams and leave you crying for more." Mm, I'm looking forward to this. So in our local free library down like near our local co-op, I keep seeing Simon Turney's stuff in there. The last time I went down there, I saw like a set of two books, but I didn't pick them up. But then I went again and I saw more of his stuff. So I decided to pick up one. This is Commodious by Simon Turney. This is part of his Damned Emperor series. The other book in this series is Caligula, right? And this is set during a time when Roman is like at its most prosperous, but there is disaster coming. There is a sickness in the east. Rome has just survived 2 decades of war, and it's taken their toll. And Rome is not now on the brink of disaster, but the only person that can stop it, that can probably see the empire through, is Commodius, because he is their emperor. He is their Hercules. So, yeah, I'm gonna check this out. There was also something in here about like a woman as well. So he's like worshipped by Rome, betrayed by love, stalked by death. I have to read this and find out what it's about. Next is Docile by K.M. Supora. I hope I am saying that last name correctly. I was sent this by Princess, thank you very much, from Castle Library. She was on hauling books. She said this was weird. I said, say less. Give me, give me a piece, right? This is all about a woman named Alicia, Alicia, Elisha, look, names are not doing me any favors today. She puts all that matters is that she puts herself up for sale. In the world of docile, being docile means to be kept body and soul for the use of the owner of your contract. To be docile is to forget, to disappear, to hide inside your body from the horrors of your service. Under capitalism, there is no such thing as consent. Actually, it says there is no consent under capitalism, but same sentiment. Thank you very much, Princess, for this. I will enjoy reading this. I'll let you know what it's about. I'll let you know if you gave it up for a good reason. So I've been looking forward to this book for so long, and I finally got it last year and didn't read it. I put it down. So this is Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister, and this is all about a mom who witnesses her teenage son kill someone, and she doesn't know who it is. She doesn't know why he did it, and she's just absolute despair, completely shocked by this. She goes to bed that night, wakes up, and realizes it's the previous day, and she is witnessing her son kill this guy again. And then pretty soon she realizes, oh, snap, the day is Groundhog Day. It just reverts back in time. So she's going to use this time to try and figure out who this person is, why her son is stabbing him, what's going on, and how she can save her son. I don't know why I didn't pick this up. It sounds so good. It sounds so good. I don't want to hype this up too much just in case I read it and I don't like it, but it sounds so good. It sounds so good. So I think it was Christmas 2023 where I read Hogfather. The I think it's the 20th book in the Discworld series. And that book I absolutely loved it. It was all about death taking over as the Discworld equivalent of Santa Claus when Hogfather goes missing. He's a Discworld equivalent of Santa Claus. Anyway, I went back and picked up these two books. This is the first book in the Discworld series. This is The Color of Magic by Terry Pratchett, and this is Mort, the first book that features death. It's the fourth book in the Discworld series. So I am looking forward to meeting these characters from the very beginning. I am very much looking forward to meeting up with my man Rick Cuddy again. Rick Cuddy was my boy in Hogfather. Man would just slap down one liners like they were nothing and walk off. He wouldn't even like he wouldn't even like say anything. And he'd slyly smile because he knows what he's doing. He's just slapping them down and walking off. Let you think about that. Anyway, looking forward to these books, and I look forward to collecting the rest of the Discworld series. I'm slowly making my way up through the pile. There's still a few books, but making progress. Anyway, these next two books are by the same author. There is When Life Feels Like an F Up, All You Need Is One Good Thing, and Confessions of a 40 something F Up. Look at him! Look at him walking into my shop! Look at him! Look at him! Look at him! Look at him! The ghost that lives in my house. Look at he just comes and goes as he please. Look at him! He's not even. Where you going? Where you going? We, we, anyway, before I was so rudely haunted in my own home, these two books are by the same author. This one is Confessions of a 40 something F Up by Alexandra Potter. And this one is When Life Feels Like One Big F Up, All You Need Is One Good Thing. Feels like an F Up. All you need is one good thing. I'm looking forward to reading these two books because they're all about this woman in her 40s and she's going through it. She's kind of feel like she's failing in life. And I am getting closer to that age. I'm nearing my mid 30s, but I will be on that track soon. And my life already feels like, yeah, it's an issue. But I'm looking forward to this. Bridget Jones, I am hoping this would give me what Bridget Jones lacked because the first Bridget Jones book was really good and I really enjoyed that. Okay. Um, and then it went downhill real quick. It was a big disappointment for me. Edge of Reason was a big disappointment for me last year, and I'm not looking forward to About a Boy. Anyway, I'm hoping these two books will give me what I need, which is just a woman trying to get through her everyday life in her 30s. Not everything's perfect for her. That's just like what I need. And then she gets like she just lives. Life is nice. Chill. That's what I need. And I'm hoping it will give me this. Next up is One Last Stop by Casey McQuinton, the author of Red, White, and Blue. I know I'm very late. This book was released in 2021. I know it's 2024. I am aware. Um, this was part of the haul from my free library. I wanted to check it out. It was either between this or a hockey romance that was very much more in date. But I didn't pick the hockey. Well, I did pick the hockey romance and then changed my mind and then pick this up. So this is all about a girl named August who has a crush on someone on her train, and yeah, named Jane. I'm not gonna read this because the last time this is the second time I'm doing this take because the last time I read it and I started laughing. So we're in for a treat. We're in for a treat. So ever since I read Morganville Vampires, which is a YA, I have been feeling in the mood for something like that. I am not by any stretch of the word a YA girly. Okay. I dabble. Okay. I do dabble from time to time, and it has to be like a very specific type. Like if somebody suggests to me a YA book, I will check it out eventually. But before that, like I have to be like in a mood to check it out. Like looking for JJ by Anne Cassidy kind of mood is something that I'd pick up and just eat. And in one sitting, just eat that book. Um and when I was very skeptical of Morganville Vampires because it was written around the time, a little bit before Twilight, but around the same time as Twilight. So I was a little bit like, but I surprisingly enjoyed that book. That book was enjoyable, and I want to continue the series, right? But until then, this is Angel Fire by Winterly. L.A. Winterly. This is the second book. The first book is called Angel. I need to track it down. This is the second book, and it's all about a girl named Willow. And Willow finds out that she's half angel, and the Church of Angels, for some reason, wants to kill her. Wants her destroyed, probably because she's half angel. But this is giving I'm in love with an emo girl, right? It's giving Black Parade. It's giving 2000, like late 2000s, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011. It's giving that. Anyway, in this book, she and her one true love, Alex, who I'm assuming is I'm not assuming that anything because I think that might be the other guy. Yeah, Alex is an angel killer and she's half angel, so and then she meets this other guy and his name is Seb and he's half angel too. Just I don't know what's wrong with me, but it feels right that I should look up these books and read them, right? Right? Am I right? Because I'm looking forward to this. This is another book from my free library. It is The Fallen Raziel by Christina Douglas. I don't know how to feel about this book, but I picked it up um, and I'm gonna read it. It's all about this girl who finds out that she's dead and she finds herself in the world of the fallen angels and she is rescued by Raziel, and I want to see what goes from there. I do not think this is a YA. This is not a YA. This is not a YA. This says Christina Douglas' sexy new series introduces the realm of fallen angels and ruthless demons where eternal rebellion is brewing and one unexpected woman can change the fate of the fallen forever. Doubt. But it sounds fun. Uh Technically this next book is not mine. Technically it is The Ghost That Lives in My House's book. He's been into Warhammer 40k for a while. I'm gonna tell you now, he ain't gonna read it. So it's my book now. It is Warhammer 40k Titanic. What's it called? Titanicus? Titanicus by Dan Abnett. This is a Warhammer book. Like it's a actual story book. Fresh from the Fort Battle campaign, one of the Imperium's most celebrated Titan legions, the Lego Invicta, prepare to ship out to the war zone of the Sabbat worlds. However, while stopping at the forge world of Oresys for refill and repair, the Lego Invicta finds itself thrown back into battle when a force of chaos titans attack. But as the god machines of Adaptus Titanicus strive to war, a sudden religious Sanctum threatens to tear the Adaptus Mechanicus apart and destroy the very world they have pledged to protect, testing the resolve of the Imperial defenders to the limit. If the furniture start levitating, I'm blaming you. Okay. Uh, I wanted to read a significant amount of Stephen King. I only have a few books that I'm interested in reading. I'm not going to read all of them, okay? But I have read four Stephen King books. Last year I read Salem's Lot, and this year I'm hoping to read Mystery by Stephen King. Duh. This is all about Annie Wilkes. Actually, it's about an author named Paul Sheldon who gets himself into a car accident and is rescued by his number one fan, Annie Wilkes. This is one of Stephen King's most noticeable or notable fictional characters. Other than Pennywise, everybody knows who Pennywise is. And if you hear Annie Wilkes, you know Annie Wilkes is like this crazed fan. I am hoping this book is good because out of the four books that I read, half of them was shit. Sorry, but not sorry. Darker Half was boring, and Salem's Lot was either was too hyped or was just not good. It was disappointing to me at least. But it and Christine were great when I read them, so I'm hoping that this book is great. He's very hit and miss with me, um, King, but I'm hoping this is good. I'm gonna be pissed if it's not. So these next four books are classics. So I'm just gonna run through them. Okay. So we've got the Picture of Damian Gray by Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. We all know this one. I don't need to tell you about it. There is a movie with baby Angela Lansbury in it. She's so adorable in that movie. Rest in peace, my queen. Go watch it. It's black and white. It is the picture of Dorian Gray. She's gorgeous. Emma by Jane Austen. I got my own copy because for some reason I am obsessed with climbing the hill that is Jane Austen. Even though I I I I struggle to get into her novels, but she's written so many. There has to be one that I like. There has to be one that I like. So I picked up Emma because it's clueless. It's clueless. Um and I loved Clueless. So I got my own copy of Emma. The Three Musketeers by Alexander Dumas. I know the story. I never read it, so I'm going to read it. And The Count of Monte Cristo, which is a huge book because we all love a good revenge story, right? Um Also, this copy you can already see you can already see it. So, I have a card in here and it's not where that is. That is what we call a bad cut. So, it's literally like I don't know how many pages, but it's quite a few pages that when they were cutting it, they miscut. So I've got like this. And I was going to return it, but I was like, why? I can get this rebound and it would just be like a very unique copy of The Count of Monte Cristo. Yeah. Mm. Anyway, those are the four classics that I picked up. So let's move on. Speaking of binding books, this is a book that the ghost also picked up. It's weirdly bound, um, but it's upside down. The person who I guess the cover was coming off and they decided to like glue it, but they glued it in the wrong way. This is a book of ghost stories. It's called the Eighth Fontana Book of Great Ghost Stories. This is the second volume. because it says the second volume on there. And this needs to be rebound because they literally just like, they literally just glued it on, and it's glued. This is meant to be the front of it, but it's glued upside down. There are a series of 8 ghost stories in this. No, there are more than 8. One, two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. There are 13 ghost stories in this. But Husbay, the ghost, thought that it was cool, so he picks it up. And it's going in our classics uh, shelf. He also looks at the free library because he knows I like books, and the more free books I get, the less I spend on books. So he's always looking out, and he got this. We are actually down to the wire now. These are 5 books, 4 of which I've already read, as you can see. So let's get into them. So, first up is I Am Pilgrim by Terry Hayes. I remember this book being around, I think, at the same time as The Da Vinci Code, being very popular. I do not know a single thing about this book. And even when it was popular, I didn't know anything about it. I just knew that it was like I am Pilgrim. And I'm pretty, like, I think maybe it's a religious thing because of the Pilgrim angle of it. But uh, reading the back, it feels very thriller y, but I'm kind of confused. So I want to find out what it's about. Okay, I'm going to read this and check it out and see what's up. There's a gap in my knowledge about this book, and I want to fill that gap. So let's do that. Yeah, so forget when I said that I had only 5 books left. I remembered one. So this is In the Blink of an Eye by Joe Callaghan. And this is its sequel, Leave No Trace by Joe Callaghan. I bought this one and was sent this one by Daddy Shyman and Mr. Schuster. Uh, and these two are part of the Kate and Locke series. This book is all about DCS Kate Frank, who returns from bereavement leave because her husband died, only to find that her department in the Warwickshire Police Department is testing a new AI system because they believe that AI is the future, basically. And she's not having that. She believes that police work is flawed enough as it is, and they don't need technology telling them more about coming in, telling them how to do their jobs. So she is tasked with testing the theory that AI is needed. The AI is called Aid Lock, and it is it is said to look like Chadwick Boseman. Its default setting is said to look like Chadwick Boseman. He's very sophisticated. He's very like he's learning, but he's like already implementing. He's implementing things that already exist, and Kate doesn't like that. She absolutely hates using the thing, but it's good. It is so good, right? And they're put up against a cold case. They are giving cold cases to test this on, but one of the cold cases becomes an active case, and it's all about them solving that case. This needs to be a TV series. It could be a TV series in the US or the UK. I don't care as long as it's a TV series because it needs to be a TV series. The next book is Leave No Trace. I think this is about a missing persons, but I'm not sure. I do need to read this one, but I loved the first one. It was so good. So good. So good. So I was going to say the last 4 books were going to be it, but I'm looking at the last book behind me right now. Anyway, uh, the next 4 books are by the same author, Shirshun Lee. I hope I'm saying his name right. Shirshun Lee. Liu. I hope I'm saying his name correctly. Please forgive me if I'm not. Uh, But the first three books are part of the Remembrance of Earth Past trilogy, consisting of The Three Body Problem, The Dark Forest, and Death's End. And I also got like a short story collection. There were like four books in one, but the short story collection is technically not part of the Three Body Problem. It's called The Wandering Earth, and it's a collection of short stories written by him. But I'm just gonna talk about the Three Body Problem because if I talk about the other two books, it's just gonna spoil it for you. And you need to go up into this book series blind, okay? The Three Body Problem. In the Three Body Problem, Earth scientists, particularly the physicists, are unaliving themselves. Like all over the world, unaliving themselves. It takes place mostly in China, this book, but they are unaliving themselves all over the place. Something has happened that has completely spooked the smartest people in the world, and it has to do with a video game, a VR game called Three Body. A nanomaterial researcher named Wang Mao is called upon to investigate by the local police department. I'm just gonna call the guy Da Shi because I've forgotten his Chinese name, and that is his nickname in the book. Da Shi, who is one of my favorite characters, along with a guy from the second book, The Dark Forest. Uh, Top tier bosses, them two. Love them. Okay. Anyway, Da Shi approaches Wang and basically says, we need you to help us investigate this. And what unfolds is craziness. Um, and it's y- y- you are following this guy, trying to figure out what's happening, going into Three Body and playing this video game, only to find out that the world is gonna be kind of screwed. He's gonna be kind of screwed, particularly because of one particular person. It's uh, it's so good. I cannot talk about so much of this book because I want people to go into it blind, but be sure that you are in the right mindset. Be sure towards the end to have Google if you are not well versed in theoretical physics. Um, don't worry, it's not that difficult. The book does explain to you in layman terms what is it's trying to explain. Um, but uh, whew, what a book! I loved it. I loved it so much. This is one of the. I gave it a 10 out of 10, a 5 out of 5. This is probably one of the greatest science fiction novels that I've ever read. The second book is just as great. I've read that too. I've finished The Dark Forest. I just have Death's End to read. And I read these books because I review them for work and just in time for the Netflix series to come out. Because Netflix is releasing their version of the Three Body Problem in next week, the 21st of March. Love these. Love them. Absolutely love them. Uh, Craziness, craziness, craziness. I love a book. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a little bit. So, I love a book where some petty crap is happening, but in the background there's like a bigger thing happening. Okay, that we can't comprehend or like handle, but our pettiness is causing us issues as a society. This, that type of book. Love it. Love it. I've just got Death's End. to read, and this is the chunkiest of the books. Looking forward to that. The Wandering Earth, I'm pretty sure, is a was adapted into a film as well. I'm pretty sure. I need to look that up, but I remember there being a I remember there being movie called The Wandering Earth, and I'm pretty sure it's based off of the short story The Wandering Earth in this. But another thing that I'm looking forward to reading as well. Uh, so good. So good. Go and read The Three Body Problem or watch the TV show. Like, don't even watch the trailer, just watch the TV show when it gets out. This is the last book. Um, I'm gonna have to censor this cover a little bit. I got this yesterday. I'm gonna like censor this cover a little bit. This is Japanese Ghost Stories by Fulcadio Ernum. I've had to censor because there's a little boobage on the cover. There's a guy running around with his head without his head. His head is in her hands. This is Japanese Ghost Stories. I wanted to pick up a couple of books, but I only ended up getting one. I was gonna pick up Hex, but this caught my eye and I picked it up. It's just a series of Japanese ghost stories that I do, wanted to read, and that's it. That's all the books. That's all she wrote. That's all the books that I hauled. That's it. So that's it. That's all the books that I hauled. I have been reading manga a lot more this year. I want to focus on reading a lot more manga, diversifying my reading a bit more. I have read, I think, like 4 books, maybe 4 or 5 books since January. It's been very slow for me in terms of reading, so I haven't really put up any videos because of that. Also, I've been super busy with work. But that's it from me. And as always, tack så mycket för att du tittade. Hoppas du har en bra dag. Good night och good dog, depending on where you are in the world. Enjoy your reading. Comment below and let me know what you've been reading. And yeah, hey do. Hey do.